Hi everyone, good afternoon. Thank you for taking the time today to join us for this webinar. We will be looking at the Digital Assessment Library UK for Healthcare and Education. My name is Abby Pick and I am one of the assessment consultants here in the UK clinical sales team. And I'm joined here today with my colleagues Faye Sherry and Emma Kelly, who are also assessment consultants, and they'll be also monitoring the Q&A box today. So we're really excited to be talking to you today about the new offering that we have and share some information on how it works, what's included, and how it can benefit you. During this webinar, the chat function will be disabled, but you can use the Q&A box to ask us any questions. Faye and Emma will be here to help answer them throughout the webinar. And then if there are any questions that don't get answered today, we'll be sure to get back to you after today's webinar. So here is a brief look at the agenda for today. So we will discuss what the Digital Assessment Library is. You may hear me call this the DAL throughout today, which is short for the Digital Assessment Library. We'll also talk about the two digital platforms, Q Global and Q Interactive, as well as the 3 license options that are available within the Digital Assessment Library. I'll also be highlighting the benefits of having a DAO license and what it means for you and your work. And then I'll also briefly touch on the privacy and security side of things, and finally finish with some FAQs and time for questions. So first, what is the Digital Assessment Library? The Digital Assessment Library provides clinicians with unlimited access to a suite of digital assessments that are on Q Global and Q Interactive that are split into 3 different license options. And these license options are called the Core License, Enhanced License, and Total License. So the Digital Assessment Library includes unlimited access and use of all digital assets on Q Global, subject to your qualification level. When I use the term digital assets, this can be your digital manuals, your digital stimulus books, or any other digital items for administration. Depending on your license type, either the enhanced license or the total license, you will also have unlimited access to all assessments on your chosen Q Interactive license, whether this is the standard license, education license, or speech and language license. Also included in your DAO license is a 7% discount on any Pearson clinical purchases, which includes any of your Q Global report credits, scoring subscriptions, Q Interactive subtest credits, or any print purchases. Another great thing with the DAL is that if you choose one of the license options that includes Q Interactive, you'll also get a free Q Interactive subtest credits that are included in your license. And another great feature that you'll have access to is the Q Global video proctoring function, which is perfect for conducting proctored remote administrations, where the video proctoring is incorporated directly into the Q Global workflow. So the Digital Assessment Library is designed to save you time, streamline your workflow, and offer flexibility tailored to your practice. So the DAO provides you with access to more for less. So I thought I would just include a slide here to show some of the assessments that are included in the DAO. So both of the platforms offer a wide portfolio of standardized assessments. So it covers a range of areas from ability to memory, achievement, speech and language, personality, and many more. So there really is a wide variety of assessments that you can use digitally. And I'm sure many of you are familiar with using these assessments already, but possibly not for digital administration. So hopefully after today's webinar, you will all have a clearer understanding on what assessments are available digitally and how you can start using them in your daily work. So now that we've talked about what the DAL is, let's have a look at the different digital platforms that are included within the Digital Assessment Library. So first of all is the Q Global system. So Q Global is Pearson's browser-based platform that is used to administer, score, and generate reports. So there are over 60 assessments available on Q Global, which includes the digital manuals, stimulus books, and other digital assets. And as it's accessed on any web-enabled device, this does require internet connection to access and use the digital assets and scoring and reporting functions. Q Global also includes our Q Global video proctoring system, which is incorporated directly into the Q Global workflow. So this can eliminate having to use a third party like Zoom or Teams or Google Handout for face-to-face observation. The second digital system is Q Interactive. And Q Interactive is our iPad-based system, which allows you to administer the assessment via 2 iPads. So Q Interactive hosts 20 assessments, including the WISC-5, the WIAT-3, and the KELF-5. You will no longer need to carry around your heavy test kits, as Q Interactive has the manuals and stimulus books built into the platform. This also simplifies the administration process, as well as having automatic scoring to save you time. And you also have the ability to edit your assessment battery at point of use, which helps you better gauge where the examinee is and allows you to modify the assessment as needed. And one of the most important things to point out here is that there is no Wi-Fi connection required to administer the assessment, which is obviously really important when you're out and about and somewhere that has unstable Wi-Fi connection. So now we'll go into the different license options available that are with the Digital Assessment Library. So the first license option is called the core license. So the core license is for Q Global only. And with this license, you will get unlimited access to all of the digital assets available on Q Global, including all of the manuals, the stimulus books, and any other digital assets based on your qualification level. So you no longer have to specify which of the assessments you'd like to use, as absolutely everything is included in the license, again, based on your qualification level. You also have access to the Q Global video proctoring function, which again is great for conducting remote administration, as it's built into Q Global, so you don't need to use any other third parties like Zoom or Teams for the face-to-face observation. Any additional purchases that you make, you will qualify for a 7% discount. So this is on all of Pearson Clinical purchases, including any of the report credits, scoring subscriptions, paper materials such as any record forms or response booklets, physical manipulatives, or print kits as well. And you can get all of this for just £475 per license per year, which is such a great price considering that you're getting all of the digital assets available on the platform, as well as all of the additional features and the discounts as well. Here is just some of the features and benefits of Q Global. So firstly, users can access test manuals anytime, anywhere, and don't have to worry about remembering to pick up a manual or take a stimulus book home or anything like that. So 24/7 access makes it very convenient, especially with it being a browser-based platform that can be accessed on any web-enabled device. And one of the challenges with Q Global could maybe be having to decide which assessment to individually purchase. Which assessment can I use most broadly, even if it might not be suitable for every examinee, child, or whoever I'm assessing. But with the Digital Assessment Library, you'll have access to all digital assets on Q Global, so you no longer have to make do with what you got. You no longer have to make a decision between 2 assessments because you'll have full access to all of the digital assets included in your package. Depending on the assessment, there are multiple different delivery options. The first one is called on-screen administration, and this is where you conduct the assessment on screen using your device instead of your paper forms. This includes digital scoring and report generation. The second delivery option is called remote on-screen administration, and this is where you can send an assessment via email to the examinee, parent, or caregiver to complete in their own time using their own device. So this takes place through a secure link that the examinee opens up and easily completes the assessment, which will then come back to you automatically scored and ready to have the report generated. Using this delivery option will save you time, as well as removing any errors that you may make from hand scoring. And it also alleviates the need to physically send forms out or trying to keep track of any forms that you've sent out. And it's also a great money-saving option. So previously, if you've had to send out paper forms in the post, you will have already spent that money regardless of if you received any of the completed forms back. With Q Global, it doesn't cost to send the forms out. You're only charged for the forms which you have selected to generate the report. So no money is lost waiting to see if you're going to get a response back. And it's also really convenient for others, such as parents or teachers, as they can complete the questionnaire in their own time using their own device via that remote link. You also have the manual entry option for scoring, which is where you enter the assessment data from a paper record form to then have the assessment scored digitally and a report generated. And finally, having the ability to utilise that video proctoring function. The next licence is called the Enhanced licence. And this option includes the same access as before on the core licence, which includes all of the Q Global assets, but this also includes our other digital platform, Q Interactive. So you'll have unlimited access to one, either Q Interactive education license or Q Interactive speech and language license. Again, you'll have unlimited access to everything on Q Global and then all of the assessments included in your chosen license for Q Interactive. The enhanced license also comes with a free 250 subtest credits for Q Interactive, which is worth £487.50 in itself. And you'll still get the 7% discount on any of the Q Global credits, scoring subscriptions, print materials, or kits. And this is also including the additional Q Interactive subtest credits. So this costs £975 per license per year. And this is a really great option for when you're using both digital platforms, Q Global and Q Interactive. So here we can see the different assessments available on the education license and on the speech and language license. So the education license includes access to the WIAT3, the RAT5, KT3, EVT3, BBCS4R, and BRSA4. And you'll have 250 subtest credits to use on any of these assessments. The subtest credits are generic, so you don't have to state which ones you're using them on. You can use them across any of the available assessments. And then on the speech and language license, you'll also have access to the KELF 5, the KELF Preschool 3, GFTA 3, EVT 3, PVT 3, and KLPA 3, again with the 250 subtest credits to use across these assessments. And the last license option is the total license. So this includes access to all of the Q Global assets and one Q Interactive standard license. So the Q Interactive standard license includes all assessments available on the Q Interactive platform, and you must hold a level C qualification to purchase the total license, as this includes our level C assessments. With this option, it includes a free 500 Q Interactive subtest credits worth £975. So even more is included with this option. So you're getting a really great deal by choosing this option, as the total license costs £1,575 with the free 500 subtest credits. And of course, this includes the same 7% discount on any of the additional purchases, including the report credits, scoring subscriptions, Q Interactive subtest credits, any paper forms, physical manipulatives, and physical kits. Here we can see all 20 assessments available on the standard license, which covers a range of modalities. So as previously mentioned, you do need to be a level C qualified to purchase the total license and access those level C assessments. One thing to add here is that any new assessments that are added onto the platform or any new releases, you will automatically get access to those assessments without any additional cost. There will also be no waiting around for the kit to be delivered, as it's digital and you'll have instant access to it. Also with Q Interactive, there's a practice feature mode, which allows you to explore and practice using any of the assessments without incurring any charges for the subtests. The only difference in the practice mode is that you'll not get the scores at the end of the assessment. And finally, with the total license, you get those 500 subtest credits included, which is worth £975. So now that we have looked at the license options and looked what's covered in those options, we can now look at the benefits of using the DAO. So as you can see on this slide, there are many different benefits of using the digital assessment library. So firstly, it saves you time. So when compared to paper pencil administration of tests, on average, the use of Q Interactive and Q Global for administration can help practitioners save approximately 35% of their time, primarily from the automated scoring. Another benefit is that with the digital scoring and reporting, you no longer have to hand score or write reports, which also links to the benefit of removing any human error made with hand scoring. It reduces waiting lists. So before, you may have had to turn down work as you may have not had the right assessments that you need. But if you have the manual, the stimulus books, and everything else in Q Global or Q Interactive that you need to administer the assessment, you can then accept more work because now you have access to all available assessments. And you're also able to make the right assessment choice for your examinees rather than potentially having to make do with what you've got or even turn work down. You'll be spending less time doing manual tasks. It's a much more efficient way of working. And other users have indicated that examinees seem to be more engaged during digital assessments. In addition, the use of digital administration can help individuals obtain more accurate results and complete evaluations that are more targeted for a specific individual. So more accurate evaluations leads to more appropriate interventions and ultimately improved outcomes. You have access to all of your assessments in one place. So there's 24-hour access to materials via Q Global and Q Interactive. And across these, and access to these, at any point, anywhere, anytime, on any web-enabled device. You have the flexibility of using different assessments that you may not have had access to before. You'll get automatic access to any new versions of assessments that become available on the platforms. You can now plan your budget better. So knowing that you have the license, which covers your access to the assessments that you need throughout the year, and once you know how many forms you'll be using within that year, will be even more helpful for future years and planning your budget. And of course, having the 7% discount on any of the Pearson clinical purchases. I now just wanted to briefly touch on privacy and security. So we work with customers to offer support with the data privacy requirements. We'll have discussions with your information governance teams and can provide all of the terms and conditions, privacy policies, and any other information that you might need. We'll assist you with completing your data privacy impact assessments and digital technology assessment criteria. And we really can support you in many areas, and we have the knowledge and expertise to help you get started with using the digital platforms. And we're all here to help support you through the process, so please do reach out to any of us with any questions that you have around privacy and security. And our contact information will be found on a few slides' time. So we're coming towards the end of the webinar now, but I first just wanted to briefly touch on some FAQs before we open it up to any questions. So lots of questions that tend to come up. Do I have to have a license for every clinician administering assessments on my Q Global DAL account? So yes, your DAL account will have a defined number of active users allowed based on the number of licenses that you purchase. And this will help govern those who can administer and generate score reports as well. And this question leads nicely onto the following question, which is, can admin staff send out assessments to examinees without needing their own license? So yes, admin staff can be added onto your core license, which is for Q Global only. They'll be added as a data entry operator as an additional user. So the qualified user who has the active license can then go on and generate the report. So this means that your admin staff can still help support you with your workload and send the assessments out for you. And then whenever you're ready, you can go on and generate the reports for your needs. How do I ensure that I get my DAL UK discount? So you will need to call up to place your order and state that you're a DAL customer, or include that you are a DAL customer on your purchase order. But if you do have any queries around this, you can always speak to our customer services team or any of the assessment consultants before placing an order. And if I need any additional Q Interactive subtest credits, do I still have to purchase the minimum order of 150 subtest credits? So yes, the minimum order of 150 will still need to be ordered. However, you'll get these at a 7% discounted rate. And also just to add that the subtest credits do not expire, providing that you do renew your license for the following year. So another exciting opportunity is the Q Global and Q Interactive training workshop taking place on the 9th of October. So join us for a 3-hour hands-on learning experience where you will have guided practice on both digital platforms. You'll learn to create examinee profiles, assign batteries, utilise built-in tools to administer assessments, generate score reports, access the digital manuals, and much more. So you'll also be able to learn and ask questions in real time with a platform expert to ensure that you're ready to use Q Global and Q Interactive immediately with your clients and students. So you can contact us to reserve your spot, but you will need to be quick as the seats are limited. So if you are interested in attending the workshop, then please do get in touch with us or find out more information on the website. I've included this slide just to let you know where you can get a quote for DAL or complete a sales form with any queries that you might have. So if you are ready to go ahead and get started with the digital assessment library, you can complete the quote form and one of the team members will be in touch confirming which of the license options you'd like to go ahead with. If you want any credits ordering, any paper forms or anything additional, we can help put together that quote for you to then get it placed and have you set up on the digital platform. Or if you're just interested in hearing more about how the DAO can work for you, how much it's going to cost you, figuring out what you need to order, you can also complete the sales form and we will get back to you. Both the quote form and the sales form can be found on our website, pearsonclinical.co.uk, and by searching for the digital assessment library in the search bar, and then you'll be able to find where to complete the relevant forms that will come back to us. So Leslie, if you do have any questions or think of something after today's webinar that you'd like to ask us, then please do get in touch. I've included our emails on screen here, so you can reach out to any of us with your questions and we'll be happy to answer them for you. And I'll leave this on screen for a little longer as it includes our contact information. But we do have time now for some questions if any questions have come through. Faye, Ema, I don't know if you've had any that have come through. If we haven't got any questions, then no problem. Thank you for joining us today. We're really excited for you to start get going with the digital assessment library. And if you've, like I said, if you've got any questions, then please do reach out. But if you've got no questions, I think we can finish it here. Thanks again, everyone.